I used to wake up every morning with big plans and with an idea that I was going to achieve or complete tasks, only to end up doing nothing in that entire day. And that feeling used to happen to me almost every day. And if you're having the same experience and you're procrastinating about things, I know how you feel. I was in that process and I overcame it a while back. To me, procrastination is a thing that comes either by your own doing or factors that you let it happen to you. Procrastination is that habit of you not doing things you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do them and how you're supposed to do them. So let me tell you something that used to happen to me. I would wake up every morning and the first thing I would do when I wake up is grab my phone and begin scrolling through my phone. And what would start as a small thing of like 2, 3 videos, because I would use them actually to wake myself up, would go into 2 to 3 hours of me scrolling. One particular app was TikTok, and then I would wake up and then didn't have like an actual plan of what my day was supposed to be like, what would come first, what would become second, what would become third. And then I just kept doing anything as things would come. And I didn't track my day. But then by the end of the day in the evening, I would feel tired, I would feel fatigued, I would feel so stressed. And then when I look at how much have I made, I've made little, I've not done a lot of progress. There is nothing I can look at and say, this is what I've executed today. I couldn't track my progress in anything. And then one day, I had a client who had come through and they wanted me to share a quotation, simple basic quotation. And the client kept calling me multiple times, reminding me to do the quotation. Think about it. Your client is calling you, not once, not twice, reminding you to do a quotation. So later in the day, I wake up and then I sit on the PC and now I'm rushing to do this quotation, which I actually had received the day before. And by the time I sent it, the lady didn't respond to me. And when I tried calling back, she didn't pick my call for quite a while. And when she picked, she told me, you know what? We found somebody more serious who was willing to do this for us. And we went with them. And she had acted as my godmother. She was trying to make sure I get the job. In fact, I'd loved for me to do the job. But my lack of proper structure, my failure to send the quotation on time, I lost the money. And then I sat back and said, okay, this is not okay for me. I need to change. I need to figure out a way of doing things on time. I need to have a plan. I need to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And during that period, I was actually going through my self improvement journey. I said, then what do I do? How do I make sure I fight this? I even didn't know I had that problem. But that moment, I started realizing, okay, the problem exists. It had existed for a while, but I wasn't paying attention. So what I did is I went online, started searching videos on YouTube, videos on how to become productive, to plan your day, how to stop procrastination. And as I watched these videos, most of them related to me because I saw people sharing real stories on how they had overcome procrastination. And they said, okay, I really need to pay attention to this. So I learned quite a number of things from YouTube and I say, okay, I need to come up with a plan. And this is what I did. So the first thing I did is I started now planning my day on coming up with an idea of what am I supposed to do. Initially, I was using a notebook to write, but that is what I'd seen online, but it wasn't practical for me. I spent most of my time on my phone and most of the other time I spent it on my PC. So I opted to go for notepads, yeah, on my PC. So I'd write the tasks for the day and give them time in regards to priority, what I felt like was more important. So every time I would wake up, the first thing I would do is move to my desk and try to see that I could accomplish tasks. And every time I would open those notepads, I'll look at them and see some of the tasks. Either it's sending an email, responding to somebody's messages, and I would follow that particular pad. And it helped me a lot because I would cancel out what I've done and what I've not done. And then some people would actually call me and give me tasks. So I'd write them on the next pad so that when I wake up the next day, I would look at those tasks. And luckily, my phone was synchronized to my PC, which most of us actually have. Your phone is synchronized to your PC. You can actually see these tasks. So when I started doing that, I started realizing that, okay, now I have at least a list of things to do. The other way I did it is I started realizing that there were certain things that were stopping me from doing tasks I was supposed to do. And one of them was social media, especially watching the endless videos on TikTok. And it was a hard step in the start, but then I started saying, okay, let me wake up and not touch my phone for at least 90 minutes. I struggled a little bit in the start, but then later I kept reminding myself. So in the first 90 minutes of my waking up, I don't touch my phone. Actually, I would move from the bedroom, leave the phone in the bedroom, leave it in silence, and then move to where my PC is, sit and try to do things. And they were the hardest 90 minutes because every time I felt like there was something I was missing touching my phone. And without it, I felt like I wasn't complete. But it is something I'd scheduled myself to do. I said, no, I should be able to do this. And then thirdly, one other important step I took was to understand what I'm supposed to do, where, and when. Initially, I would wake up without a plan. I would sleep without a plan. So my day would just happen, like things would just keep happening to me. Like I didn't have a plan on what I was supposed to do in that particular day. So now I started taking note on what am I supposed to do. So before I get to sleep, I think through what things am I supposed to achieve the next day. And through that, I would actually have an idea of what my day was supposed to look like. And that gave me purpose. That gave me reason to sleep early. That gave me reason to wake up. That gave me reason to say, okay, I'm supposed to accomplish this and do this. And when this happened, I realized I was achieving more than I achieved in the previous time. And as a person who runs a business, my customers found it more better to deal with me. I also felt like I was accomplishing a lot of things. I got clarity of mind, had a program, and I developed a schedule. Like right now, at least I know there are certain things I do in certain days, certain times, and nobody can ever fit into my time. For example, my 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. is my gym time, is my workout time. You cannot actually come and fix yourself in that time because over time, I've developed a character and a trade and a schedule of when I do that. I've also now have the first hours from morning to midday as my deep work hours. I get into the schedule, I work. It has given me peace of mind, it has given me a feeling of accomplishment. And actually, I love myself much more better. And I love myself. And I feel like I am doing much more. So I feel like my productivity has actually risen up. It has gone to a certain level. Therefore, if you're going through a phase where you feel like you're not productive, you don't have a plan, you don't have a structure, I would ask you to sit back and look at your life and evaluate it and see what is causing you to go through the things you're going through. And then probably use the three methods I've shared with you and structure your life. You can go to the comment section and tell me what you're probably struggling with. Share with me, and we could say I could go about this. Procrastination is actually a big deal. And one of the biggest challenges is if you're experiencing it and you actually don't know that you're experiencing it. It takes some inner look, some inner deep reflection where you have to look into yourself and say, okay, what am I doing? Have I achieved my goals? Have I done what I'm supposed to do? And by only doing that is when you can only be able to say that. I hope this video inspires you and lets you start a new chapter where you fight procrastination, become more proactive, become more productive, and grow and become a better person. Subscribe, follow, like, and comment. And thank you for being part of my channel.